Recording in progress. That is always what I need to hear and like to hear and must hear. It also lets you know that this session is, in fact, being recorded. I will be posting it on my Listen and Learn channel of my website for you to replay it at your leisure and your convenience. When you do so, make sure that you subscribe so that you get notified every week when the new post goes up and like and make some comments. It just kind of helps let others see it as well. So, in today's session of marketing mastery, we're going to cover and talk about working with seniors and downsizing. Now, in Jumpstart session 4, we talk about the 24 pillars that a real estate agent can market to. You ain't going to be doing them all. So, as we share with you in that session, your database should always be one. And then from there, what are the other two, three, or pillar two, pillar three, pillar four option of the 24 that we cover? What hits your hot button? What could you get excited about doing, as I lovingly say, on your worst day? You've got up and you got bedhead, you broke a nail, you stubbed your toe, the cat or the dog did whatever, and you stepped in it. What are the marketing pillars that you could absolutely get excited about working? If working with seniors is one, then you're at the right place at the right time. So let's start with, where can you potentially find people who have been in their home for, oh, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. As an agent, you all have access to your MLS. In the MLS, you can go to search and property reports. You are not searching what is currently active, pending, or sold. You're going into another component where it's going to give you information. There's all kinds of magical things that the MLS is able to do. And most of our agents know, on a scale of 1 to 10, they know about 1% of what the MLS has the ability to do. So if you're ever snowed in or sitting around, go check out some of the training videos that your MLS has to offer. It's going to help you become obviously better, but it's also going to be, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That makes it so much easier. There you go. You got it. All right. So in the search, did you know you can go in and search for where it says owner occupied? You want to say yes, which means they're still living in the house. If not, it's going to give you the list of both owners and renters. So you want to go owner occupied? Yes. You want to, where it allows you to program in the closing or the settlement date. You can set it to go back 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever your little heart desires. So you do some basic math. If the home was purchased, I'm just going to make this up, 15 years ago, they were probably in their 40s, 50s, maybe even 60s, because the house may not have been their first time purchase. It may have been their move up home. They've been there 10, 15, 20 years. They are going to fall into a certain age bracket, more than likely. And if that is the niche that you want to go after, there is part of the space that you can get the homes that have had the homeowner in there since 1990 or whatever it is you want to customize it out to. Generally, if you're going to build out, I'm going to say a farm of any specific demographics, you want to, again, you got to look at your budget too. You got to look at, okay, I won't have an email address for these people. I have a mailing address. I can mail to them. What are the cost of stamps at this point in time? Or what is the cost of a postcard at this point in time? Can I afford a monthly mailer, or can I afford a monthly postcard, or can I alternate a mailer and a postcard, mailer and a postcard, mailer and a postcard? So you've got to work out the budget. Can you consistently sustain that for 12 to 24 months? Gang, mistake agents make all the time. Oh, I tried that once and it didn't work. Well, how many did you send out? Oh, about 30. Really? Okay. We go back to McDonald's. You know, I reference that all the time. McDonald's has been around forever. They still advertise, and they advertise more than once a day. Now, for that business to sustain and survive, you don't go to the McDonald's marketing department and they say, oh, yeah, we ran an ad once, and be done with it. It is consistent. And that's what many agents are missing, is the consistency of diligently getting information out over a period of time. So wait for it when the home no longer meets their needs and they need to consider buying or selling. I'm sorry, you're not the only real estate agent they probably know. But if they know you and you don't do any consistent follow-up, you are ghosting them. And then you wonder why they go with somebody else, because they totally forgot all about you. They know people that have come and go from this business for years. And when they don't hear from you, they assume that you have fallen prey to the turnstile at the front door. So consistency and built out over time is going to be critical. But you got to know what your budget is. What can you afford monthly? Can you afford to do 50? Can you afford to do 100? Can you afford to do 150? Can you afford to do 200? What is the budget that you're able to sustain for, again, 12 months to a year, based off of a monthly touch point to this group of individuals who at some point, higher odds that they're going to need to sell, probably sooner than later. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up if it does. Let me know that you're tracking and it makes sense. All right. The next component comes into, thank you for the thumbs up. The next component comes into the messaging. The right message to the right target. Gang, this is marketing 101. Big mistake that is often made is, because you don't have that marketing background, you just send out do you want to sell your home? That's kind of throwing jello on the wall and hoping that it sticks. Now, fortunately, you have a little bit of my wisdom. I have been blessed over time to have been able to invest in some of the best marketing education that's out there. And I did it, marketing and sales, long before I came into real estate. So when I came into real estate, I had that mindset, that logic, that understanding, and I just brought it right with me. And then I quickly started seeing most agents don't have a clue. They follow along blindly what everyone else is trying to say works and gets done. And I'm here to tell you, if it doesn't work, I'm going to tell you it doesn't work, but I'm going to tell you why it doesn't work. So sending out a stupid message to a random target once or twice ain't going to work. Now that we got that out of the way, you've identified the target, you've identified your budget with how many you can sustain over a period of time. The beauty of that is if you can only start with 100, you start with 100. Then when business gets generated, you can up that number to 150. As business generates, you can up that number to 200. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Come here, listen carefully. Our mega producing agents that are sending out 5,000 or 10,000 mailers a month did not start with that number. They started with what their budget would allow them to do and built up over time to that number. And now they can sustain it. So do not compare yourself. Well, I can't afford the 5,000 a month or 1,000 a month, so I'm not going to do anything. Gang, that's not where they started. That's where they have built up to. And it's not where you start, it's where you finish. There used to be a song about that. There you go. All right. You want to make sure the right message is going to them. Do you want to sell your home? I'm sorry, useless. But to that target, here's the question you ask when you're designing a marketing campaign. What is the pain point that that group probably has that would be the trigger to cause them to make a move? In this scenario, talking about seniors, oh, and by the way, in case you're interested, it stopped snowing. In case y'all need to know that, it just came to a screeching halt. Moving on. I got a few of you laughing. That's good. When you think about it, what is the message they need to hear? Put yourself in their shoes for a minute. Do you still love the house? Are your knees still loving the stairs? You can put a picture of a staircase or a beautiful staircase in the background of the flyer or the postcard. Do you still love the house? But your knees are saying, I don't like this staircase anymore. You're hitting their pain point. It may also be you see on the MLS that they've got a pool in the backyard. Do you still love the house and the neighborhood? Because you become friends with the neighbors, but you're thinking you don't need the 5,000 square foot or the pool in the back anymore. Is it time to consider a move? You are going bullseye. You are not throwing jello on the wall, hoping that the message sticks. You put yourself in their shoes for a moment and say, okay, what is their pain point? How can I identify it and nail it? There you go. Now you've got a marketing message for that niche. Another great component that goes with that is you should probably have some free reports on your website. Now, I did a compiling of information. I got a class coming up, social media, and it is not every platform works for every agent. We also talk about QR codes in there. The average consumer for a QR code is 50 and under. If you're dealing with someone 60 and above, may or may not be comfortable scanning a QR code. So you need to think about how that target wants to receive information. Now, they're probably comfortable going to a website if you give them the link that they can click on, or give them directions of where on your site they can find that particular item that they're looking for. Oh, wait, free reports for seniors that are getting ready for a move in the next, I'm going to say, 2 years. Because they're going to go, oh, yeah, we're thinking about moving in 6 months. We're thinking about moving in a year. We're thinking about, again, you're sending them directly to the right target. Now, let's talk about what you can provide for information in terms of free reports. You know what? You want to be creative? Go have some fun. Google it. Put it into ChatGPT. What are the 5 things a senior needs to know a year before starting to make a move? It's going to come up with something. This is where we're going to build out the library of free reports for seniors that need to move down, because their challenge is they've got a lifelong collection of goodies and memorabilia from their life. If they're going to downsize, the question comes, what do I keep? What do I toss? How do I do this? Where do I start? So your free reports can tie right into that. If you have an idea and need help, you let me know because I can go directly to our marketing department. And if we don't have it already, we certainly can create it and make it available for everyone. So some of the stuff that we're working on right now is for the seniors. What do you do with your lifelong span of treasures? If you're scaling down, you might not be able to take it all with you. And I'm sorry, most of the time the kids and the grandkids don't want the china anymore. They may want one piece of it. That's fine. So having resources and ideas and options for where a senior can turn to pass on. I don't want to say dispose of, but pass these items on for someone else to love on them is an ideal resource to have for these people. Because again, they're going to need to scale down a bit. One of the great things that we've shared, and I'm going to have to pull it out of my other packet to create a free report on it, is they can go through and take pictures of stuff. They can take pictures of their grandmother's table setting, or they can take pictures of stuff and they can save the picture and actually create a remember back when we were in high school, we had our annuals with the recap of all the highlights of the year. You can do that, or you can help your seniors with that concept as well. They may not have realized they can take their lifelong treasures, take a picture of them, and put them into an annual, a book, a coffee table book that they can reach to and get to anytime. I know agents who have done that. The client has loved it, especially when they're at that point now that they're going from a home to assisted living. That's another huge step down. What an agent did who did a lot of this was she would buy, it's about the size of a little bit smaller than a laptop frame. You download the pictures, put it into the digital picture frame. She would buy the client the digital picture frame. She would help take some of the pictures or take some of the actual photos. She would scan them or take a photo of them, load it up on the stick, put the stick in the digital picture frame, and let them run on rotation. The person who is now in assisted living in a much smaller footprint is loving the fact that this digital picture frame is showing and playing all the treasures and the kids' pictures and the grandkids' pictures and them growing up. All those pictures are on rotation on this digital picture frame. They are loving it. That was what her niche became, is as the family's helping them downsize the things, she would take charge of the digital picture frame, pictures, would go around the house and take pictures and upload it for them. The beauty is the family then can take it from there and add additional pictures as they need to and want to. Once they got it started, the family often take and ran with it from there. And the person loved it. They never felt that their treasured memories were taken away. They were just converted into a digital picture frame or put into a coffee table book that they could have out and flip through and reminisce anytime they wanted. All right. Another treasure. Again, this went into a book, a packet of information that we did one time. The lady was going into assisted living. She had her grandmother's lace tablecloth. She had had it for 50, 60 years, whatever it was. She did not want to see that be, I'm going to say, trashed. So what this agent did, which I thought was brilliant, she said, well, let's converted into curtains. She went to IKEA and bought curtains, the blackout curtains, because she knew where the lady was going. There was a big sliding glass door. She actually went and helped put the rack, the bar up. She took the blackout curtains, attached the lace tablecloth to the curtains, put them on clips, put them on the bar, and the lady now had the blackout curtains to protect the tablecloth, but she saw the lace tablecloth hanging on her window all the time. First off, it came out adorable, and the woman went in tears when she saw what Heather had done. It's the blackout curtain behind it protected it. She had got two colors and let her decide whether she wanted this color or this color behind it. But it's now something that she's got in front of her every day for the rest of her time. I thought that was one of the coolest things ever. And I love being able to share that because also what it does, it gets our creative brain up and going as well. So the takeaway to all of this is, if one of your niches from Jumpstart Session 4 is to work with seniors that are more than likely ready to move down, not up, but down, you can touch in with your SOI and ask them if they have parents or grandparents that fall into that category that could benefit from the access to the library of your for reports for seniors. You'll find out. They'll provide that information. If you're going to go into the MLS, you're not going into where the active pending and solds are at. You're going to be going into the proper search and the property information. You can be as specific and granular as you want to be. You can run a search for those whose closing has been 10 years or further back. You specify the date, owner occupied, yes. You can go in and run a search for those whose closing date was 10 years or further that have a pool or are 3 stories and above, 2 stories and above. You can get as granular as you want to run those searches. Again, going from a target to a specific bullseye. And with that, you will be able to customize your marketing message to them by asking and thinking about it for a second. Put yourself in their shoes. What is their pain point? Is it the pool and the yard and the house is too big to care for now? Is it they love the house, they love their neighbors, but they're not loving, their knees are not liking those stairs? At some point, you can give them options. Now, I'm going to throw one out that's going to throw a curveball at some of you. One of the options is if someone says, you know what, I love my house, I love my neighbors, I love my neighborhood, but these stairs are killing me. Connect them to a local distributor that can put in the chair lift to go up the stairs. That might be the solution that you can help connect them with. They may have gone, oh my God, I didn't even know that existed. I never even thought about that, or I totally forgot about that. You become the hero because you're not just rushing in and saying, well, you got to sell the house. No, you have options. And what I used to always share with them as well is there are options. Is it an option to sell? Yeah, it is. Is that your only option? No. Is it your best option? I don't know. That's for you to decide. My job is to help give you and explore the options. So yeah, selling is one of the options. But then what are you going to buy and where are you going to go? Is hiring someone to do the yard and the pool, is that better than? Did you know that sometimes people who teach swim lessons are looking to rent the access to the pool so they can teach their swim classes and the homeowner is now making money off the pool. I know people who have done that, and it paid for the pool maintenance, and they felt good because the pool was being used, and they felt good because little ones were learning to swim or to dive if there was a diving board and enjoy the pool because they're not enjoying it anymore, but they enjoy seeing people use it. Again, there has to be insurance up the wazoo, but you know what? It's an option. People are going to go, oh, I didn't think of that. Is hiring a local teenager to start developing his skills for yard maintenance or lawn maintenance. Is that an option? Yeah, it is. Is hiring a professional company an option? Yeah, it is. Is hiring someone from the local college in horticulture, is that an option? Yeah, it is. So again, think about what are the options, because if you can provide them options to think about, they are going to be grateful and appreciative that you've given them options, and they can run with it from there, or you help guide them as well. So that is the highlights of where to find seniors that may want to downsize, what is the right message, going to the right target, you having developed out a library of reports or ideas or information to help them in a downsizing or adjusting market, and you become the winner when all is said and done. Does that make sense? Do you like those ideas? Give me some thumbs up. Let me know that this was beneficial and that you enjoyed and learned something along the way. I'm seeing thumbs popping up all over the place. I'm going to jump over to the chat real quick and see if there are any questions that may have popped up during this section. Oh, somebody shared they had a client that had actually installed a one-person elevator. Absolutely. That is an option. The chairlift. I knew someone because of illness that she had, and her husband had lost a leg from an accident when he was a young boy, as he used to attempt the stairs, but when he got older, it was more complicated. They installed the chairlift. Sat down, buckle in, push the button, and it took him up. Push the button, it brings them back down again. Would you please share the steps to search in the MLS? Yeah, go into your MLS. We mentioned this at the beginning. You go into search and reports. From there, you can adjust your criteria for how long they've been in the house, whether it's a 2-story, 3-story. You can manipulate all of those fields to come up with a bullseye target of looking for somebody who's been in the house, who closed in 1990 or 2000 and back, has a 2-story or 3-story, or has a large square footage, even if it's single level home, you know, by square footage. You can customize it in all different directions. So yes, it is in the public records of the search in your MLS. Okay. And again, the MLS, you can also do like draw a box around an area that you want to tap dance into. That's an option as well. The MLS has multiple ways to search for stuff. Again, on a scale of 1 to 10, most of our agents know about 1% of what MLS will let you search for. So there you go. And that is something that just takes time to learn and build out. But if working the seniors and the move down is a component that you want to tap into, absolutely, because the numbers are staggering of how many seniors have a home that they've bought since 2020 and before. That may be a higher percentage, a higher candidate to consider a move. Right message to the right target. Make sure they're the property owners. And there you go. You've just upped your odds, but you've also worked your numbers so you know what your budget will allow for 12 months, 12 to 24 months of marketing to that one. Okay. All right, my friends, that is going to wind down this session of marketing mastery, how to tap into the niche of working with seniors. When you watch this video, now that you're at the end, make sure you've given it a thumbs up, a comment if you'd like, a subscribe, because then you will be notified next week when we upload our next session from this series. All right, my friends, you go be wonderful, go be awesome. And remember, I don't care what you know. I want to know what you're doing with what you know. So for that, I'm going to say goodbye. I will see you in our next session. See you next time. Bye for now. It's good to see you all.